What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Forza, Forza Milan. You know what the drill is. Forza Milan. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button while you're at it. Let's get the likes up. It is time for the transfer market. The transfer market officially started today in Italy. Well, today, January 2nd at midnight. And yeah, teams are moving. Teams are moving. Teams are doing their thing, and we have a lot of rumors coming up. It's going to be crazy this month. We're going to hear every single name under the planet, and it's going to be crazy. Milan already has done one move, though an official move. Milan buys or rather signs Colombian goalkeeper Devis Vasquez, a player that right now is not really considered a replacement for Tatarusano, more so an extra goalkeeper to have and develop. And when the time comes, he can be a valuable second goalkeeper or even third goalkeeper if Milan's objective is to have Sportiello, Vasquez, and Magnan as their three goalkeepers. These are all young players. These are all, well, fairly young players. Vasquez is 24, Sportiello is close to 30, and Magnan is 27. So, you pretty much set up your goalkeeping department for the next 10 years. If that is the goal. If that is the goal for the summer, then I think the goalkeeping department will be covered. And moments like these, where we lose a player as important as Magnan, will be replaced by players that have a certain amount of quality that can still produce for the team. So, good move for Milan, I would say. But the problem this year continues to remain the absence of Magic Mike Magnan. Magic Mike Magnan, guys, we have more news regarding him, which is a little bit unsettling, and that is that Magnan will not recover for the Super Cup. They're looking, the target is for him to return against Tottenham, right? We're talking about February, mid-February. Guys, what the hell happened with Mike Magnan? What injury is this? This is like an injury that has gone on for so long. Usually injuries that go on for so long are pretty serious injuries. It's not just a little muscle thing over here. So, if anybody knows, please write it in text. Please write it in the comments. Do whatever you got to do. Can you please tell me what's happened with Mike Magnan? Obviously, the injury is serious. Something that got to do with his calf. The calf is not responding to the treatments, or is it a tear? Is it a third degree tear, second degree tear? Obviously, it's not a first degree tear or strain. It's obviously a second degree or third degree, meaning second degree, meaning that your muscle has been extended. Third degree means that your muscle has been completely torn. So what is it? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what it is? I just want to know. That's all I'm asking. I'm not here to point the fingers at it. I'm not. I just want to know, what is it? What's going on with Mike Magnan? Obviously, this injury that he got is serious. If the goal is to recover him for February 14th, then it is a serious injury. There's no doubt about it. I just find it strange that the communications of the club are not very transparent about Mike Magnan's situation. I just find that quite strange. I don't feel negative about it. I don't feel positive. I just find it strange. I wish we would knew a little bit more about his situation. But regardless, obviously, the reason why Milan went on the market and has completed the first signing of the Mercato, which is Devis Vasquez, it is related to Magic Mike's situation. So I just would like to see a little bit more transparency there. All right, let me say hello to the chat. What's up, Raul? Tonali, Forza Milan. That's right. Happy New Year from Trinidad and Tobago. Happy New Year, Ricardo. Yes, sir. We need a right wing and we need a CDM. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. What's up, Hilary O'Cauley? Milan wants Rico, second goalkeeper for PSG. Now, I've seen that as well. And obviously, we're going to be talking about that. Well, listen, since you mentioned it, let's just go to that. Milan is looking to buy a second goalkeeper, which is this Rico guy from from PSG. Now, my quick analysis of that, just my quick opinion of that, is like, okay, how many goalkeepers do you need to get? Are do they want to have four goalkeepers? I mean, so I'm assuming Jung Dal is gone. So the Jung Dal experiment did not work. He's obviously on his way out. Um, Too bad for him. It is very rare to get goalkeepers from the Primavera into the first team. It's a very rare occurrence. Donnarumma, as a matter of fact, was a very, very rare occurrence. Yeah, I saw that article. And it is I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting that they would do that. That's all we buy defensive-minded players. Well, let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. Um, I don't think Milan is only going to get defensive players. I think they are going to get outfield players as well. Okay. Speaking about DMs, obviously we're going to talk about Angelo. What's his name? Angelo Gabriel, who's very interesting player, a youngster, 18 years old. It looks like Milan has put in an offer for this player. The latest reports suggested that Milan put in somewhere around 15, but this Brazilian team wants 20. So, it's the usual story. It's the war of the small margins. Apparently, there are other clubs interested in him. I did a little bit of research on him, so he's already broken a few records as a youngster playing with the professionals in the Libertadores Cup. He's, I believe, one of the youngest in that competition to have success in that competition, and so obviously there's something special about this kid. We're going to look at him. We're going to analyze him a little bit. We're going to talk about him, see what he can bring to Milan, see if Milan's should really go all the way. Should we spend 20 million on an 18-year-old? Now, listen, I did look at this player. And I got to say that, it's not the most impressive thing you're going to see. Obviously, we're talking about an 18-year-old that plays very good, but is not the kind of player that is going to come into the team, take over that right wing, and teach football. That's not going to happen. It's another player that will have to come in, take his time, probably even send him on loan. That can even happen. He could even probably have to go on loan. Remember, when we're talking about 18-year-olds, the ones that can break into a team right away and just dominate the field, these are outliers. They're outliers. This is the 1% of 18-year-olds around the world. But there are 18-year-olds that are just below that category, 18-year-olds that are already doing good things, not extraordinary things, but already good things, and that can develop in very good players. Essentially, players with a high ceiling, right? That's essentially what it is. It is an 18-year-old with a high ceiling. So I definitely see value in Milan trying to get this player. Actually, I'd be very excited to see this player come to Milan. Because of the potential, right? The potential is exciting because you can spend 20 million for an 18-year-old. Remember, we are talking about Brazil here. Brazil will always produce top quality players. If you get Brazilian top quality players, the offensive top quality players in particular, you get them when they're young. This is a bargain. This is always good. Now. It'd be an interesting purchase. Again, I don't see this kid taking over Messias' spot. I don't see him taking over Salamakers' spot either. If we get this kid, this is another developmental program. Actually, let's look at him a little bit. And let's talk a little bit about this player. Okay. Angelo Gabriel. Let that go for a little bit. So we're going to look at his plays. We're going to look at his football. We're going to see whether or not we think this is a good player or not. Bakayoko is on his way to Galatasaray FC. Yeah, good for him. You know, Bakayoko is essentially a good player if you put him in the right environment, in the right with the right team. I have nothing against Bakayoko. Actually, I have a lot of respect for Bakayoko because of how well he adapted to his situation. And I don't know if he had disputes with the coaching staff. Maybe he did, maybe not. But he maintained a very professional and good, healthy relationship with the locker room, with the team, with the project. He's always there celebrating goals. He's always there pushing his teammates. So Bakayoko, even though he did not get to play much, he deserves my respect. I respect Bakayoko, and I thank him, and I thank him for his services, whether they were great or not. Hamid, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? There's nothing. There's nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to be afraid of. All right, let's see this player. Let's see what he's all about. 17 years old when these highlights were taken. Obviously, very young. You know, I do not recognize the other players. Brazilian, plays for Santos. That is Pelé's club. Left-footed, right wing, left wing. Appearances 46. I believe that is in. I believe that is 46 in professional games in Brazil. So that's very good. 2 goals, 8 assists. I mean, for a 17-year-old, what that you can't expect anything more than that. So it's not terrible. It's not terrible numbers. Okay, so let's look at this player. Let's see what we believe. Let's see if this is a good investment. I mean, I think already the numbers already kind of say it is, but let's check them out. Okay. Okay. So on the right wing, he likes to run rainbow around players, essentially. Okay, now I want to be completely honest about something. When I saw snippets of his highlights, and when I first saw them, I wasn't aware of his age. But when I first saw them, my first instinct was, man, like there's a million players like this in Europe, in Italy. Like we don't need to go all the way to Brazil to get a player like this, because obviously when you look at him right now. I mean, yeah, he's a good footballer. He's got good instincts, but that is not doing anything in Serie A. Like that's not doing much in Serie A. But it's different when you look at his ID. The guy is 17. Yes, this is a good investment because these are the players that end up being the Chiesas, the Vinicius Juniors. It's like if you're 17 and you're doing this with the big guys, with players that are 30, players that are 27, players that are 28, that means that your ceiling is super high. And that means that in 2 or 3 years, you might have another Leao. You might have another player like that. So if Milan can land this player, I think it would be very positive. Yeah. But again, what I hope does not happen, which I'm pretty sure it will happen because a lot of people just don't get it. They just don't understand. They're going to look at this player and they're going to think, oh, okay, guys, this guy's the new Pato. Look, he has a baby face, so that means he's going to be the new Pato. He's going to come. He's going to destroy everybody. He's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Obviously, there's going to be a certain tangent of the Milan fans that are going to do this. I really have hope that the media does not do this. I hope they freaking learn to not do this stuff. But the media likes to sell newspapers, right? And when in the first page of a newspaper you say superstar Brazilian genius coming to Milan, that's going to sell newspapers. All this unnecessary pressure creates Coutinhos, creates Patos, creates De Kettlers, creates these players that they come and you expect they're going to be Messi, you expect they're going to be Ronaldo, you expect that the thing about it is like people expect these players to be the Messi at 27 or the Messi at 30. No, this is not even Messi at 17, but he's a good player for being 17. This is a player that you have to wait for. It is even possible that this is the kind of player that you want to send out on loan. Okay, you send him out on loan. Yeah, you might send him out on loan. Obviously, he has qualities. His cuts are very sharp. He has that offensive mind. Looks a little bit light body wise. He looks a little bit skinny. He has good movement into space. That was a great goal. If I saw correctly. This cut here is not very impressive. A little bit disorganized. So maybe not a great highlight to show his skills. This is good timing here. So, he's playing against older players. He's playing against 25-year-olds, 27-year-olds, 28, 30-year-olds, and some are young, just like him. But you have to consider that the experience has a lot. He's got decent pace. It's not blistering pace. It's more pace based on timing, right? That looks like a decent cross. I wonder how many he makes wrong though. I'd like to see that. Good footwork here. Very good footwork. Good pass in the middle too. Good timing. Clever. Yeah, he's got good vision. Interesting through ball. Nice shot. If those one day start to hit him the back of the net, he's gonna ask for a lot of money. Nice dribble. Nice timing. He's definitely got qualities. But yeah, definitely still quite young. At 18, he's the best dribbler of the Brazilian league and is in the 80th percentile for progressive and through passes. Not bad. He's not a goal scorer, but never were most of the great wingers we have today. There's a lot of material to work with. His name's Angelo Gabriel. Image. No, I think at 20 million, this is a great operation. But let me tell you, like, he's not going to come to Milan and be a superstar right away. Like, it's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Not like he's got skills, but it's not quite there just yet. Do you think they'll put 20 million player on the bench? If a player is this guy, I hope they do. But what are you going to do? You're going to play a player that is going to get eaten alive? This kid is going to get eaten alive in Europe. He's going to get eaten alive. He's going to, if you give him the responsibility of carrying the team right away, he is going to be eaten alive. It's a guy you got to be patient with. At 20 million, bruh, the Premier League is buying players for 70, 60 million, and then they don't even use them. They're buying players for 60, 70, 80, 100 million, and then they let him go on loan because they had a okay season. The Premier League is setting a different kind of standard. 20 million for a 17-year-old, which is potentially one of Brazil's next top superstars. Sign me on, man. Are you kidding me? This shit needs to happen right away. It needs to happen right away. And to be fair, like Messias and Salamakers can hold the line. They can hold the line. If this is the right winger we get, and it is more a signing for the future, and that means that we don't get a right winger that can come in today and already dictate the game, such as a Ziyech, right? An experienced winger that has played World Cups, Champions Leagues, that has played at the top of the top. If you don't want to bring in that guy, okay, I'm totally on board with a youngster that can potentially be one of Brazilian's best forwards for the future, 100%. So I am 100% down with this move. I have said multiple times, this is my dream. I want to see Milan be a team that develops champions. Okay, right? We have a few years. Look, this is the unfortunate truth. We are building, and we have a few years until we get to that stadium, right? So if we get to that stadium with this guy that is a top superstar, Francisco Camarda, Chaka Traore, and the players that we already developed so far, like Benacer, like Tonali, like Kalulu, like Teo Hernandez, like Leao. And then, of course, you want to sometimes maybe you get a big player in a market here and there. Bro, we can't ask for more. That is the apex of football. That is the apex of football. If I see a Milan that does not need to spend 100 million and 60 million and 120 million for players like Grealish, I am happy. No offense to Grealish. 100 for Sancho. No offense, Sancho. Martial, 80 plus 10, 100 million. No, thank you. Let's develop these players. Let's get these players when they are teenagers. Yes. Now we are talking. Bravo. Bravo, Maldini. So I hope this works. I really do hope this works. Do you think we'll put a... yeah, I think 18 million is pretty... I mean, 20 million is not bad. It really is not bad. Anyway, so this is an interesting player. And guys, trust me. Like, you gotta fucking trust me right now. This is Enzo Fernandez all over again. This is, what's his name? Alvarez. It's Alvarez, Fernandez. It's this kind of situation. It is this kind of situation. Okay? This kid is pretty much, let's say, Chiesa when he was that age. Yeah? I'm sure none of us here would be complaining if 4 or 5 years ago we got Chiesa when he was 18 or 19, and today he's worth 100 million, right? Nobody would be complaining if we got Chiesa when he was when he cost only 20 million or only 15 million, and now if you want to sell him, right? Nobody is complaining about Leao. We got Leao at 19. Leao now, the only thing we're complaining about is a contract, but Leao, if you want to sell Leao, that's 120 smackaroos. We paid what, 29 for him. It's a good deal. It's definitely a good deal. Okay, so these are the two operations right now that have been pushed, seem legit. Obviously, the Vasquez one is legit. The goalkeeper is officially a Milan signing. And then this one here, which is very interesting, but other players are being linked to Milan. Again, we get Frattesi linked to Milan. Frattesi would be a good option for the midfield. I think there's a bunch of midfielders that would be very good. Maybe at the top of that list today, Amrabat would be the best player that you can think of to replace essentially what Kessie was doing, that muscle and that pretty much connection of the midfield, defense, and offense, but essentially the muscle in that. As a matter of fact, Gattuso recently said in an interview that Amrabat is the first player that he has seen in a long time that reminds reminds him of him. So, this says a lot about what kind of player Amrabat is. So maybe if you just want to, play fantasy calcio mercato over here, Amrabat probably would be the best choice. Frattesi also is a player that wants to leave Sassuolo. He's been talking about leaving Sassuolo for a while. There was interviews that I read about him like maybe 1.5 years ago, where he was already having deals with Scamacca, just friend deals with Scamacca and Raspadori, saying that he wants to play for a top club. So Frattesi, I know, based on his words and things that he has said to newspapers, that he wants to play for a big club. Obviously, Sassuolo is going to sell him. Now, Milan, Inter, and Roma on this player. I think Frattesi probably right after Amrabat is probably maybe one of the best choices that Milan can have as far as the Italian market goes. To cover that void in the midfield, to add a little bit more quality, a little bit more bite to that midfield. So let's look at Frattesi a little bit. Frattesi is obviously on the move. When it comes to Italian players, I just don't believe it anymore. Honestly, I just don't believe it. I have this idea now that Milan just like, if you have an Italian name, you're not welcome. So I don't believe it, but he is an option. He definitely is an option. Let's check him out a little bit. This video came out just 3 days ago from Brazil Scout. Frattesi is on the market. This could be an opportunity. I wouldn't mind having Frattesi on Milan. He is already in the national team. I saw him in the national team play against Germany. He looked really good in that game. 23 years old, CM, CDM. He plays in the double pivot. He has played that, similar to Veretout, Lobotka, Nunes. I wouldn't say similar to Lobotka. That's a little bit of a stretch. I don't think he's similar to Veretout either. 20 appearances, 4 goals, 0 assists. Pass success rate 76%, 2 yellow cards, 22 million. Tackles per game 1.3. Roy, does the new goalkeeper remind you of number 99? I haven't seen enough of him to make that connection. All right, let's look at Frattesi. Bro, was saying about Amrabat a year ago, our owners are a fucking joke, nor do they want to buy, nor do they want to promote our youngsters. I'm sick of it. Hence, I'll never blame Maldini, but owners. Obviously, the owners, they make it difficult for Maldini to operate like the English teams. They definitely make it difficult. Ooh, nice play. A little bit too strong, but that was a good play. I mean, he's a midfielder that he combines quantity and quality pretty evenly. At 23, the potential is to become, I don't know, even to become world class, as in being able to compete in Europe and win even in Europe. At 23, you still have the ability to show if you can do that. I think Frattesi would be a good investment for the midfield if this is the player that is, available. If this is the player that Milan can get or can afford. Yeah, unfortunately about Amrabat, Jamal, Liverpool is on him. He had a great World Cup, so obviously his stock went up. And Milan today, we don't know if they are in that realm of being able to compete against, like, let's say, Liverpool or whatever other team wants to buy a player like Amrabat right now. The stock is high. The stock is high for Amrabat right now. I don't know if Milan can really get into a bidding war for Amrabat. Frattesi's stock obviously is not as high, and it is still a very valuable stock, though. Still very, very valuable stock. Maybe Frattesi could be interesting. Do I think Frattesi will come to Milan? Honestly, no. I really don't think so, because um, I if the trends stay the same, it looks like Milan is most likely going to get a youngster that will be ready in 2 years. you know, most likely an under 21 from I don't know, anywhere. I, I don't know if there are any Italian under 21s, but probably not an Italian under 21. Like a Vranks, we're gonna go for another Vranks, maybe. I mean, I don't know if they're going to even operate in the midfield. It's really difficult to say what Milan is going to do, because right now, if you want to make a perception or a prediction based on Milan's, you have to use the trends that have been there, and you can't say, yeah, Milan is going to get some really wild players that are going to come in and really, improve this team technically, tactically, and everything. You really can't say that, unfortunately, right now, today. But, this can change. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody here has a crystal ball. So Redbird is new. We don't really know what Redbird is. So there was an article that came out regarding wages, and the article did say, according to Redbird, the philosophy is to keep a salary cap. Obviously, not go too crazy with the salaries, which I definitely agree with, but also make exceptions for, the outstanding players. Okay, I'm totally down with that. I'm totally down with that, because, you don't want to get in a situation where you have, let's say, I don't know, a Castillo, or yeah, just let's use a Castillo. Even though I have maximum respect for Castillo, love the guy, but you don't want to be in a situation where you get a Castillo and you're paying him 5 million and then he's on the bench. Like, you don't want to get in these kind of situations. So I definitely agree with the cautiousness regarding your wages, but of course you have to make those exceptions for their outstanding players, especially if they deliver, especially if they bring in the numbers and they deliver. Which brings us to Giroud. So apparently, guys, Milan has been looking to try and renew Giroud's contract. Reports were pretty optimistic about it not so long ago, but then just a couple of days ago, reports are suggesting that Giroud wants double. Giroud wants double. So he's looking to get more money. He's looking to double his wages. He probably thinks he deserves it because he's the guy winning all the big games for Milan. I mean, essentially, almost every big game that we play, he's the guy that scores the winning goal. So he probably feels like he bears a lot of weight on this team. He does bear a lot of weight on this team. He has definitely entered the role of a father figure for some of the players and a leader, and he scored big goals in big games. So right now Milan is negotiating with Giroud, and I don't think Milan is going to give him double. I really find it difficult for Milan to do that. But I find it a little bit wrong for him to ask for that. Like, you're going into your 37th, 38th year. I think that is a little bit of a stretch there. I mean, if you want to make money at this point, just go to China. Just go to China, go to a country like Middle East, and be one of those players. Go to the U.S. But for a club like Milan, I find it difficult for them to double his wages. I think it's fair to obviously keep his wages the way they are and add something, but I don't know, like double them, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that? Would you, uh, you know, say yes to what he's asking for, if that is what he's asking, double his wages? Let me know what you guys will think. In the meantime, we're watching Davide Frattesi in the midfield. He's a box to box, busy guy, always available, winning balls. Yeah, I saw him. There was a game I saw him play against Germany in the Nations League Cup, and he was brilliant in that game. He was absolutely brilliant in the game. So obviously he's had success at Sassuolo, and he can be a very interesting player for the club. Let's see what Milan does. Other players that are in the Milan orbit have been Madueke, which is apparently an under 21. I did not know. But Madueke, who thrashed AC Milan, unfortunately, that it hurts to say, but he thrashed AC Milan. Could be an interesting prospect for AC Milan. In PSV, there are two players there that Joan Bakayoko that is very good. Madueke also looks like he's ready. He's ready. He looks like he's ready. Physically, he's definitely ready. He had a lot of power. Technically, he can combine his power and his technicality together in a pretty efficient way. He's got a good shot. He had some two good shots. One on the first post, one on the second post. He has a very good cut in the middle. So that is an interesting prospect that Milan could go for. Probably, if Milan want to go for this player, they should go for him right away. I would not wait. Obviously, this player has qualities, so the more he plays for PSV, the more he will shine, the more he will be put under the spotlight, and the more he's going to be, difficult to sign because there's other teams that are going to get him. Guys, the EPL has gone turbo. The EPL has switched on a gear that I've never seen ever. This is the first time. They have reached an amount of being able to spend crazy amounts of money, and it is because of their system. It is all earned. They created that system. It works well for them. You can't take that away from them. That is definitely creating a different environment in European football. I saw that Tottenham lost against whoever, I don't know. Conte cried, and they bought him a 40 million euro midfielder from Lisboa. This Spanish midfielder. It's just so easy for them. It is so easy. It is too easy. These clubs spend but this is another reason why we have to be careful when talking about players that play in the EPL. They get a lot of hype because of these prices, but remember that these prices are now these prices are not real anymore. Now it is real for the EPL, but what we are used to considering, let's say, 100 million player, is very different from what 100 million player is considered in England. 100 million, it's getting to the point where average players are costing you 100 million. If we want to spend 100 million, we want to get one of the best players in the world, right? But it's getting to the point in the APL, it's getting close, that if you spend 100 million, you're getting just an average good player. You're not getting Messi, you're not getting Mbappe, you're not getting, it's getting to that point. The EPL has put its foot on the accelerator, and they're going they're going over the horizon. We're losing track. So, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem, because the truth is that you can get an 80 million player for 10 million. You just got to know when to get them. So now this is what the Milan has to do. Italian clubs have to do. They have to get these players before they can before they explode, and then keep them. Now the thing is that the wages in England are not they're higher than Italy, 100%, but they're not that much higher. They're not that much higher, you know. Most, I mean, a lot of you can be in. The difference is that you can be in a 12th place team and make a lot of money. That's the difference. But when you're playing in the upper echelon, the wages are not that different. So it is. There's still a little bit of balance there. We need to sell Rafa and no. Why? Let me get to that comment in a second. If we could really spend that much on a midfielder, I'd rather get Monu Kane or Sangare. We were horrific against PSG. He still impressed me. I'm not too familiar with Manu Kone, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about Sangare. Um, I mean, if these players fall in the orbit of Milan and Milan decides to sign them, it's good. Absolutely. We need to sell Rafa and Terasunupi so we can go back to 13th place like a few years ago. Okay, I see. It was a joke. No, we're good, my man. We're good. Don't worry about it. 100 million for Chalanoga. Yeah, soon. That's what it's going to be. Yes, now he is Amrabat, but why wait till it's too late? Same thing happened with Barella and Sinise Alvarez, Bruno Fernandes. Yes, yeah. So when we're talking about this player, um, Angelo Gabriele or Angelo Gabriel, yeah, get him now. 20 million, it's a bargain. This is the player that Manchester City in a few years will spend 150 million for. You understand? Get this guy now, but he costs 20 million. Get him now. I'm all about it. I am all about it. And the thing is that we will be able to keep these players. We will be able to keep these players. If we keep these players and we get into the next era of AC Milan, which is the era of the AC Milan owned stadium, bro, this team is going to be unstoppable. Nothing is going to be in our way. It's going to be our philosophy of football. It's going to be our mentality, and we're going to be able to sustain it with with the right resources, with the correct resources. So setting ourselves up to get to that point once we enter that point, yes, let's do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. Obviously, if we were Manchester City, we wouldn't need to do that. You just pay 100 million for whoever. You know, Fratesi. You need Fratesi. Okay, here's 60 million. You need Amrabat. Okay, no problem. Here, 80 million. You need this guy. Okay, this guy that you paid 100 million. Yeah, he sucked. Whatever. Let's get this other guy. Let's pay this other guy another 100. We can't do that. We have to do things differently. It's just the way it is. But we're going to the the project is going in the right direction. It is definitely going in the right direction. Okay, let's talk a little bit about my favorite AC Milan player, Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao. So, Di Marzio. A journalist that I think is pretty good. A journalist, one of the reasons why I like Di Marzio is because Di Marzio is the kind of journalist that when he latches onto a lead, he goes through the whole thing. He will explain it to you, he will tell it to you, and you can follow the whole thing on a daily basis. I like these kind of journalists. And then, of course, there's those other journalists, which I'm not going to name. I'm not going to name their name. I don't want to be. I don't want to be mean today. You know, they just get that tap in, and they become the heroes. Di Marzio, on the other hand, is a guy that likes to be on top of it and likes to have news on a daily basis. And he doesn't really care whether or not sometimes it doesn't go that one way with or the other. I've heard him say that. So yeah. Okay, let's see. What is it? Milan raising their proposal to allow linked to various Premier Leagues, 7 million euro per year. At the same time, the RossonARI are looking at possible options as new goalkeeper, a name that could interest Milan, Sergio Rico, currently Paris Saint-Germain, third choice. But here it is. AC Milan working on the transfer market. First steps, contract extensions. At the club, there's confidence on Ismail Benacer and Oliver Giroud signing new deals, while Rafa Leao's situation has always seemed less advanced. But even on Leao's new contract, confidence is growing. So Dimaggio is getting this kind of information. He's not making this shit up. He could say the opposite. He could be saying the opposite. Why wouldn't he say the opposite? He doesn't get anything out of it. He's going to get clicks or likes anyway. Actually, if he gets the opposite, maybe he gets even more likes and clicks. But there is a sense that we are going to get this done. There is a sense that we are going to get this done. You can definitely feel it. Every day the news always seems positive, and these journalists, the channels that they're getting, the information that they're getting seems to be conducive towards Leao signing. Why? Milan wants to sign the guy. Milan wants to keep him. Also, a lot of people in Italy are pushing Leao to sign for AC Milan. Another guy today, there was a few days ago, but today people inside. Oh, Seedorf a few days ago said, Leao, trust me, you want to keep on growing, you want to go the right direction, sign for Milan. Seedorf sent him that message. He put that message on social media. You know Leao follows all that shit and he sees that. Of course he does. Pippo Inzaghi wants Leao against Man City Real Madrid move. Become an icon of Milan. There you go. Leao is under contract with Milan until June 2024 and is understandably attracting the interest of some top clubs given he amassed double digits in both goals and assists last season. Of course, he was crowned MVP. The negotiation over the renewal of his deal would be a difficult one given the confusion over who has power of attorney between agent Mendes and the lawyer. The high salary demands to extend and the 19 million fine he has with Sporting. All of these things play a big part. Former Milan player Filippo Inzaghi gave an interview to the microphones of the Corriere della Sera, during which he also gave advice to Leao about his future. This is what he said about Leao. He said, if I were him, I'd stay. For me, Milan have always been the best. Wearing that shirt, playing at San Siro a few years ago, perhaps we could have thought of aiming for something more prestigious because Milan were making a comeback. Now, instead, he has won the Scudetto. He's making his way to the Champions League. He said, Leao is strong, but he can be even stronger. I hope he's convinced. Here he can be the protagonist at the center of the project. Guys, this is what I've been saying for what? Weeks now. Like, this is what Milan can offer him. The risk is that if he ends up at City or Real Madrid, then to be one of many, if I could give him some advice, I would tell him to become an icon of Milan, a unique thing. So there's pressure on Leao, and it is the right thing. They're saying this because they care about him, because they want to see him succeed. Everybody knows, everybody with a rational mind knows that today, if you want the best for Leao's career, he needs to stay with Milan. He needs to stay with Milan. He needs to sign a new contract with Milan. He has to be given the opportunity of being in the center of the project and then keep on doing what he's doing in Milan. And then let's see what happens in a few years. That is his best thing to do. Anybody that wants to send him right now to another club is just thinking about money. Is just thinking about money, and this could really alter his career. It could not. His career can definitely go in a different direction where he doesn't get to bloom into what he's meant to be. Right, his destiny will not be fulfilled. He also added his thoughts on Milan season so far. Inzaghi said Milan have a great coach like Pioli and directors like Maldini Massara. They know exactly what to do. It is clear that Napoli have traveled at double speed, but I'm convinced that the Rossoneri have everything to try and recover from the Scudetto and to go on the Champions League. To experience those nights that the fans know well. De Ketteler, he is strong, but he's young and must be waited for. So was done for Leao. He can become a protagonist. He has quality. We need to take the pressure off him. Inzaghi saying everything correctly here. Milan won this shit in this transfer market. Okay. Our project should be clear. One, going for young process are going to wrestle with the big boys, so we are never. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Hola, Christian. Come stiamo? More reports. Let's see. Dimaggio, Milan have initiated talks to sign Sergio Rico from PSG for the rest of the year. Yes, I have seen that. To be honest with you, I don't understand it. I do not understand that operation. If we just signed this Vasquez kid, I do not understand this operation here. I can't rationalize it. Like we have Tatrusan, we have Mirante. Mañana is going to be back. So what I mean, does this must mean someone else is going? Obviously, Jundel is going. So maybe Mirante is going, or Tatarusano. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's as we go through more reports here, let's look at this player a little bit. Um, what's his name? What is his name? Devis Vasquez. Someone compared him to Donnarumma not too earlier in the chat. Okay. Let me get this. Guys, remember to click that like button, click the like vote. I want to see what you guys think. Will Milan have an impactful winter transfer market? I want to know what the mood of the RossonARI TV community is. We have 32 votes so far. The vast majority are saying no. And I totally understand that. I totally understand that. Because you have to go with trends. You have to go with trends. It has to be trend. What is the trend? What have the trends been? So I totally understand why people would be saying no. All right, so let's look at this player a little bit. This is the player that Milan officially signed, first signing of the winter transfer market. I'm trying to find any video new goalkeeper playing with his feet. Not sure if he's any good with his feet. Does anyone know? We're gonna find out. Okay, so first of all, he is 24, Colombian. Colombia is another country that produces very good players. So, that is also a positive thing. But he's 24, so like the potential with this goalkeeper is huge. So this goalkeeper can potentially become a top goalkeeper at 24. You don't know yet. Let's see how he responds to Europe. Obviously, Milan wants to develop young goalkeepers, and like I said before, if Milan's idea, as far as the goalkeepers, is to start next season with Magic Mike, Sportiello, this kid, and I guess this PSG goalkeeper, 4 goalkeepers, you have 4 quality goalkeepers, and it is the goalkeeping department is a department that you can fix it. You can make it really strong. You don't need that many resources to do it. Milan did an incredible job with Mike Maignan. Incredible job. Obviously, his contract will be spoken about too soon, but it is definitely he's got really good reflexes by good reflex saves. These are very good saves. You can definitely see he's athletic, right? He's athletic. I mean, this here is definitely not good goalkeeping. This is definitely not good goalkeeping, but it's something that you can definitely fix. And one thing about being a good goalkeeper is knowing where to deflect balls, right? You have to be able to deflect balls in what you call no danger zones. You have the danger zone, which is always in the middle, and then you have the flanks where the danger zones diminish. The danger of a ball being on the flank is less of a ball being in the middle. So when you have a situation like this and he deflects it right there in the middle, obviously the thing is that all you got to do is If it lands on the wrong person, shoot it, and it's a goal. If he deflects it here on the side, nobody is there, or if someone has to go there, they have to go there, take it, and then you can set up. So obviously here you can definitely see a little bit of immaturity, or not immaturity, but inexperience. Good reach. Like here, such a strange place to deflect the ball to, right? He deflected the ball straight into the head of another of his opponent. It's easier said than done, of course. Yeah, that's what you want to see. You want to see the player deflect the ball in areas that that's a penalty in Italy. That's a penalty in Italy. Or maybe not. Maybe not. He did get the ball. But if a referee, is hustling, that's a penalty. Good save, that one. Nice save. He is kind of similar to Magnan in how he dives. He has a similar body type, and he has a similar technique in his dives. Ooh, that's a really good save. 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 Good reflexes here. That's a really hard shot. Coming straight on your chin. Coming straight on your chin. Difficult. Wow. That's tough. Wow. Good reflexes. He's got qualities. This guy's got qualities for sure. Obviously, I'm sure the highlight reel of him conceding goals is extensive. Don't get it twisted. But he's saving some difficult shots here. Oof. That's a great save. That's going straight. Oh my God, that's a top save. Wow, great reflex. He's got qualities, this guy. Ooh, shit. Nice. These are big saves. That's a real big save. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen him concede goals. Obviously, this highlight reel is just going to show us the good things he does. As far as his feet, yeah, this particular highlight is not showing anything. He's definitely athletic. Look, he's got build. He's got muscle. I mean, it looks like a good purchase to me. It looks like quite a good purchase to me. According to Sky Sport Italia, Rafael is close to agreeing a new contract with Milan, especially as Chelsea have decided to invest 127 million in Enzo Fernandez instead. Yes, go for Enzo Fernandez. Go for Enzo Fernandez. Forget Leao. It's not easy. I like this. And it also sends a message. It sends a message to the world. If you want to get AC Milan superstars, it's not easy because the superstars that we really care about, we show them we care about them, and they feel it, and they have that sense of responsibility. I do want to say, Tony, that the team maybe that we need to worry about the most is not necessarily Chelsea. If you really look at this objectively and you look at the landscape of the teams in Europe, the team that probably could benefit the most from Leao right now is Manchester City, not Chelsea. So it's really Manchester City, I think, that we're going to watch out for. But this is good news for us. A little bit of shitty news also for us because we were linked to this player, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, apparently, according to reports that just came out a few days ago, had said yes to Milan. I remember we were reporting on Enzo Fernandez. We're looking at his highlights and we're like, man, this guy's a really good player. He had some... One thing I remember about his highlights, that he had a lot of goals from outside the box, and that was a very interesting aspect. But the thing about Enzo Fernandez... And guys, and I say this a lot of times, and this is what I was saying about Enzo Fernandez, and this is what I was saying about Alvarez before they cost 127 million. I was saying, Yo, every country, all these countries that are elite footballing countries, their upcoming crop of best players that are playing in the national team, those are the players you want to get. It's them. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez in Argentina was being considered the best midfielder, upcoming midfielder. Okay, that's who you get. Julian Alvarez in Argentina was being considered one of the best strikers. That's who you get. In Italy, it's the same. In Germany, it's the same. Spain, actually it's the same in every country. It's the same in every country. So, so yeah, I want. Hopefully, Milan can get this player Angelo Gabriel. It's an Enzo Fernandez type of deal. Angelo Gabriel is going to be a superstar for the Brazilian national team. Maybe Angelo Gabriel one day is going to win a World Cup with the Brazilian team. Get him today, because today, there are European teams that do not need Angelo Gabriel. They do not need him. They see his potential, but they do not need him. Okay. On the right now, everybody's is pretty much covered. So everybody's pretty much covered. So today is the best day to get this player. Come on, Milan, do not screw this up. Most of the saves are actually from his teammates. Well, no, in fairness, he had some really good saves. But again, when it comes to goalkeepers, there's much more than just the saves. When you're looking at goalkeeper, the most important thing that a goalkeeper does to a team is give that team confidence, right? When you have a really good goalkeeper that gives a team confidence, the strikers perform better. Everybody performs better, but especially the strikers, believe it or not, they're the ones that perform better. When you have a really good goalkeeper, the strikers perform better because they have less. There's this psychological effect that when you know you are covered really well, when your defenders and your goalkeeper do their defensive duty at a high level, you as a striker, you tend to say, okay, well, they're doing their job, so now I can think about doing my job, which is to score goals, not necessarily to go back and defend like a maniac. Like a striker is there to score goals. So, the value of a goalkeeper is a psychological value. Of course, it's a technical value, but it's also a tactical value as far as how he plays out of the box. So I don't know how this kid plays out of the box. We haven't seen it. I don't know what kind of confidence he gives to his teammates. I can tell you from based on some of those saves he's making there, he's getting a lot of praise because some of those saves were quite clutch. Don't know why Milan management don't always listen to Moncada. Hillary, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I wish I knew exactly what calculations they need to make. Obviously, we can deduct something that is pretty obvious. Milan have a certain limited budget, and they have to spend that budget and based on all the objectives they need. Meaning, they need this player, that player, that player. They only have a set amount of money to get these kind of players, so that is their limitation. It's coming down to that. It's coming down to the parameters that the owners have set up in order to maintain the sustainability project. And then when Maldini, Massara, Moncada, etc., have to make their decisions, obviously that is one of the key factors that they're evaluating when buying players. So it sucks because that means that you're willing to pay 15 million for Angel Gabriel, but Santos is asking for 20 million plus bonuses, performance bonuses, which I think is 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 a pretty good move from Santos, to be honest with you. And let's say the only thing that will stop you from buying a player that is probably going to cost 120 million in a few years is just 5 million today, and maybe 10 million in bonuses or whatever, or resale. But essentially, it's only 5 million. It is a sad situation. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, all right. Anyway, having said all of that, I definitely believe that this Vasquez kid is a pretty good deal. Again, guys, I don't know. A lot of you weren't here, guys. Please remember to vote. I want to see your guys' votes. I want to know what you guys think. And remember to like the stream. Remember to like the stream. But before we talk about Salernitana, uh, let's just look at one more thing here that I think is interesting. For okay, L'Equipe, guys, look at this. Man United lining up 60 million January bid for Kuala. Guys, I would not pay 60 million dollars for this player, even if I was forced to cut my hands off or some crazy shit like that. Um, this Manchester United, this Premier League thing is crazy. 60 million for Kuala. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? 60 million for Kuala or Kolomuani. 60 million. Someone needs to explain to me how they came to that conclusion that this player is worth 60 million. I am telling you guys, when I see these headlines where a player like Kolomani is worth 60 million, we are about to enter a new era, a new financial era in which in England, 60 million, 80 million, 90 million are normal prices for average players. We're going to be soon getting into a spot where if they want to buy a big player, he's going to cost 200 million, 250. We're moving towards that direction, and we're starting to see it. It's starting to expose itself from the horizon. It's starting to come up out of the horizon. We're starting to see it. 60 million for Colomani, impossible to get in a bidding war like that. That is impossible. De Paul, another very interesting midfielder. I think this would be quite interesting, actually. De Paul, according to the latest from Marca, De Paul could say goodbye to Atletico Madrid as he has failed to establish himself as a starter. Argentina welcomes the idea of a return to Serie A, and Roma are interested. Milan, Juventus, and Inter are also keen on the 28-year-old. Roma perhaps have a factor they can play in their favor. De Paul is a close friend to Paulo Dybala, who of course joined the Giallorossi in a free transfer from Juventus. So there's definitely movement in that midfield position for Roma. Roma is being linked with Fratesi, is being linked with other players too, and now De Paul. I wonder if De Paul is still in the radar of Maldini and Massara. I mean, he's 28. After playing with Udinese, now he's come into a situation where he's played in La Liga, he's played in the Champions League, he's won a World Cup as a star player. He's still only 28. If there is the opportunity to bring De Paul to Milan, I think that would definitely bring quality, quantity, locker room experience. He would definitely bring the level up of the team. I think this would be a good signing. Yes, I think at 28, this would be a good signing. It is not a Milan kind of signing. The trend today is if you get a player that is on the older side, it is because he is going towards retirement, or he is a player that comes from the lower divisions, such as Messias, or he is a player that is on the fringes, such as was Florenzi with Roma. All the 30-year-olds that Milan has bought are not players that are. Maybe Chiara was the only one, but Chiara, I don't think he was 30 when we got him, or maybe he was. I'm not sure. But 28 years old, yes, I would be totally cool with this signing. Fratesi, De Paul, Amrabat, or Sangare. Even though Sangare, the PSV players, I find it a little bit more difficult because they're not being linked away from their clubs. But let's just focus on the players that are being linked to Milan. These three, Amrabat was linked to Milan. But right now, today, if we want to go by with Fratesi, De Paul, Amrabat, one of these three, any of these three would be good. De Paul will either go to Juve or Inter, maybe even Napoli. Never us. Why do you think he would never come to Milan? Let me know. I'm curious. Okay. Let's keep on going. Let's look at other. Oh, Balotelli, guys, injured. He's under the knife operation. Another player that gets injured. Origi got injured. Rebic got injured in the last friendly. It's just it's crazy. Like the situation at Milan with injuries is absolutely insane. Um, Either Milan are not vetting these players well enough, or the reason why they get them is because the teams that Milan is competing to get these players are aware of these players' injury recurrences, and that makes it easier for Milan to win the bidding wars. That could be a factor in it too. Let's not pretend that's not a factor. Let's be honest with ourselves. Or just our recovery methods, our something is obviously not working. Something is obviously not working in the training grounds. It seems to be a problem that Milan has always had. Today, maybe more so than other times. Obviously, there's something there that needs to be looked at. Obviously, guys, we are going to be talking about the first Serie A game coming up in a few days, but let's talk about the other teams, specifically Napoli. Napoli is going into this Serie A campaign starting from the 16th day onwards with its full squad, zero injuries. Inter lost Brozovic, and they don't have other players that are fully fit. Juventus is still a mess with their injuries. Roma still has issues with injuries. All the top teams, including Milan, except for Napoli, are suffering with key injuries. Um, Again, it looks like everything is going Napoli's way this year. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. I mean, Inter is going to play to win. Inter probably, let's say Inter probably is going to win, but that's another thing that we got to look at when it comes to Napoli. Guys, I'm not sucking Napoli's dick. I'm not fucking riding them. I don't give a shit about Napoli. Let's get this clear because people like want to complain about me because I talk well about Napoli. I don't give two fucks about Napoli. I don't give a fuck about this team. I don't give a fuck whether they win, whether they lose. I don't operate this way. Okay. One thing that maybe I was thinking about, because I was thinking about this, one thing that maybe I have taken from American sports is that in America, people, when they talk about sports, are less tribalized than Europe. And they have a better ability to look at the playing field with more objectivity in other teams, etc. And you have less of this. It's us and nobody else kind of a mentality. And you just have to be honest. When you look at the playing field in Italy, Napoli this season has just done an incredible job, and they're continuing to do an incredible job. They have come out of this 2 month period where they're with their full team fully recovered. Obviously, they're working at a very good level. I wish I could say the same thing about Milan. Milan is coming into this next period without its key player Magic Mike, Origi and Rebic, two players that are supposed to be our offensive depth, are not available. Balotelli is under the knife. We don't know when Ibra is coming back. Florenzi is still injured. We don't. It seems like any time one of our players is going to get injured, that is a situation that we are carrying, and it does cost us when it comes to points. Football is not just playing football. Football is a club, a team is not just, hey, let's kick the ball, and let's have fun. It's not that. A club is a huge institution that starts from the academy, start from the coaches, the staff, your cooks, you have drivers, you have people that work in offices. It's an incredibly complex institution where everything needs to be run perfectly. And one of those aspects is how well can you maintain the health of your team. That is a technical aspect of football. It's not just something that you shouldn't take in consideration or take it for granted. No, that is a technical aspect. Um, in Italy right now, Juventus has completely failed at doing a good job of that. Milan obviously has failed at doing a good job of that, but we have been able to mitigate it and still get results, which says how strong we are as a unit. Inter, same thing. They go through a lot of periods where they lose players. Napoli, they set themselves up when they do lose players. They have the players to fill those positions. But then you look at their work they did in these past 2 months. They set themselves up with everything in place. So good for them. This doesn't mean they're going to win against Inter. It does not mean they're going to win against Inter. They're probably going to lose against Inter because Inter is going to be at the San Siro. Inter is going to be hungry. They're going to want to win. But let's look at the rosters. Inter is playing without their best midfielder, right? And we have seen this Inter when you take Brozovic out, it's different. It's not. It's a different team. Napoli's going on with everybody. Anguissa, Lobotka, Zelinski, Viceverasquilla, Osimhen, Politano, Lozano, Raspadori, Simeone, all the defenders. Everybody is there. So obviously, when it comes to the rosters, you want to say Napoli has the advantage, but when it comes to the hunger, maybe Inter is more hungry. Let's see. Let's hope Napoli win the league. They deserve it. If they win the league, they definitely will deserve it. Yeah. Last time Argentina won the World Cup, Napoli won the league. I know it's pretty crazy. It's weird how that works. Ibra is living the life. Milan are for sure the best retirement home. Yeah, I mean Milan has become a retirement home for some very good players. You got to say. I did see something that I thought was quite encouraging and quite nice about Ibrahimovic is that recently he was offered a contract of 100 million, I believe, for 1 or 2 seasons in China, I think, and he said no to stay at Milan. So I think that says a lot. Like he said no to 100 million just to make what 3 or 4 million of the last years at Milan. So I think that says a lot about his character, and you got to appreciate it. To be honest with you, Roy, I don't mind talking about how good Napoli is, but you're talking about them in every life for hours. I mean, guys. I mean, when the discussion is the opposition, I mean, what else is there to say? Juventus is not a threat. I'm not worried about Juve. Juve might even have the best roster in Italy, but I'm not worried about Juve. Juve does not worry anybody. Inter, I think we have surpassed Inter today. We have surpassed Inter. Like it used to be from last year that Inter was the better team, right? Inter was a team that was forward, that was more, that was readier. But today we've surpassed Inter. So why do I need to talk about Inter? Why do I need to talk about Juve? Roma still has a lot to get to our level. Lazio is not at our level. Atalanta is not at our level. There's a lot of team. Pretty much all the teams in the Serie A are not our level, minus one. Yeah, that one team is the one team I'm going to talk about the most when we talk about our opposition. I mean, it's just logical. It could be fake news. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Is Bacca leaving this winter? Yes, it looks like Bakayoko is going to Galatasaray. Balotelli is out for a month. Thank God for Florenzi. I don't know if Florenzi is back, though. I haven't seen whether or not Florenzi is back. Okay. Let's see if there's any other reports that could be of any interest. It is going to get crazier and crazier. This is quite interesting. Mancini has been on the news. He's been talking about Italy a lot. Look at Mete. Mete, good player. Mancini urges Milan to be patient with De Cutler. Think of De Bruyne at Chelsea. Let's just go to his quotes. Mancini says, the pursuers are all close to each other and all can catch Napoli, but they have to run hard and fast. De Cutler, he's very strong, but he's young, so he needs time. And he's a Belgian. He needs to settle in. Think of De Bruyne at Chelsea. He looked like he didn't know how to play the ball. Yeah, Yeah, Mancini, guys. Mancini knows what he's saying. I trust what Mancini says. Giroud plays well and makes the team play well. If he were to have a problem, it wouldn't be easy, even if the best version of Origi can replace him. Uh oh. Uh oh. Cancel Mancini. Cancel Mancini, guys. Call the Twitter police. Call the media. We have to cancel Mancini because Mancini just said even the best version of Origi can't replace Giroud. Aia ragazzi. Cancel Mancini. Cancel this man for saying things that are not allowed. You're not allowed to say these things in public. Origi needs to retire. Didn't Origi injured again? Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. When Theo is injured or suspended, what happens to our left back? Well, Hillary, Dest. We saw Dest at PSG. Dest defensively is lost. He is lost. Pobega. The thing about Pobega in the left back, the thing that breaks my heart is that Pobega is actually a young, good player that definitely has what it takes to become an important player, an important depth player for this team, and can be used in very good situations. But if he plays on the left back, people are going to start hating on him. I really hope that does not happen. Florenzi, if Florenzi was back, if Florenzi was healthy, we wouldn't have these issues because Florenzi can play a right back position at a high level as the sub, and he doesn't play the left back position as a high level as the right, but he still plays it at a very high level. So Florenzi was the perfect guys. When I was saying that Florenzi is like a tremendous signing when it comes to options that you can depth, right, and options that it's great. But when you don't have them, what are you going to do? Now you don't have Balotelli, you still don't have Florenzi. You have to put Dest there. Dest got eaten alive by Madueke. You know, guys, make sure to like the video and vote. What are you waiting for? Vote. I want to know what the people think, and subscribe if you're new. We need that Brazilian winger now. Greeting from Cuba. Ciao. Ciao, Cuba. Come stiamo? Yes, I have talked about it earlier, and I definitely agree. We are in agreement that Brazilian winger would be an excellent signing for AC Milan in this current moment. Diaz was just a loan deal, right? He's 100% Madrid player. According to the latest reports, yes. According to the latest reports, yes, it's just a straight up loan. Everyone gets injured but Diaz. That guy's made from steel. Even his career is a steel. That is actually a funny point, right? It's actually a funny point. Like Diaz is one of the least injury prone players that we have. Okay, guys, let's move on to Salernitana AC Milan. Let's move on to that. Let's see what probable formations we have. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about what we expect. Let's talk about what we want to see. Let me see if I can get the probable formations. Here we are. Okay. Probable Milan 11. Tatarusano, Calabria, Kalulu, Tomoiteo. That's the defensive line. Already, that's a good defensive line. That's a defensive line that gives me a lot of confidence. Benacer Tonali as a double pivot. I'm very confident in this team. Salamakers, the hard worker, very confident. Brahim Diaz. This is the Brahim Diaz year. This is the year that we gift Brahim Diaz to Madrid. This is the year that Brahim Diaz becomes the player that he's meant to be so Madrid can get him back. Then, of course, Rafael Leao, the G's of G's, and Giroud, another top G. So the team looks very strong, to be honest with you. This is pretty much the team that won the Scudetto last year, that won us the second spot in the Champions League, minus Kessie. minus Magnan, of course. But it was pretty much this team right here. This is a very strong team. It is a very strong team. I don't see why we would be playing like shit. I really don't see it. Why would we play like shit? I have no idea. But it is a strong team. Let's see if I can find. We're going to go to SofaScore and see what Salernitana is going to look like. Let's go to SofaScore. Give me a second here. Let me get all this straight. Do. Okay. It is the first game. Damn. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me share the screen. Give me a second. Guys, remember to like the stream. If you're a real Milanista, like the stream. Look at Milan's form in these friendlies. Red. Okay. All right. Here we go. Tomorrow. What do we have? Probable formations? No, we do not have any probable formations. Salernitana to win up 500. Milan minus 200. Tie 3. The Hustlers are probably going for the tie. I think the Hustlers are probably going for the tie, so watch out for the Hustlers, guys. Remember, the Hustlers dictate a lot of shit. So, life. Okay, let's look at what Salernitana looked like in their previous games. So Salernitana played with a 3-5-2. Bonazzoli, Valencia. Okay. Matteo Lovato. I don't know. Let me see their last game against Monza. Let's go to the Monza game. Okay. Balue Diaz been doing okay. Radanovic, Maggiore, Pirola. Yeah, it's not a team of great quality, but it's a team that you have to work your ass off because they are going to fight in that stadium down there in the south. It's going to be a hot stadium. The crowd is going to be behind the team. They're not going. It's going to be a difficult game for Milan. Hopefully, Milan can. You know what it is, guys. You know what it is. With Milan, the only problem with Milan is that they don't score right away. If you score right away and you get the game, and you get the game by the horns of the bull, it's finished. Like, that's it. Like, you can win this game professionally, but you have to take your chances. So if Milan takes 6 chances, and then we get to the 60th minute and it's still 0-0, shit starts to get difficult. They need to score like 2 chances, score a goal. 3 chances, score a goal. That's what Milan should be doing. If it can do this against teams like Salernitana, then we're not going to suffer against these teams. But we can't start with this mentality like Rebic had against Cremonese, where he wants to do stepovers, he wants to do rainbow flicks, he wants to take pictures and put them on Instagram as he plays football. If we have this mentality, it's going to be a 0-0, it's going to be 1-0 for Salernitana. Forget all of that. Let's play for real. Two chances, 1 goal. By the time the first half is finished, at least be 1 up or 2 up, but at least have a goal in there. Come into that second half, do the right moves with the substitutions, kill the game off. Easy. These are easy games if you play them right. But if you're not clinical in front of goal, forget about it. It's going to be a roller coaster of a game. Let's put it that way. Still thinking about Branks. How can you describe him? Branks looks like a very promising player. I mean, he is the captain. He is one of the captains of the under-21 Belgium team. That says a lot. It comes back down to that idea of these are going to be the future best Belgian players. yeah, get him now. That is what Vranks is. Vranks is a stable under 21 national team player, which means he's going to eventually graduate to the first team. Already at a young age, playing in Germany, playing a decent amount of games in Germany. What kind of player he is? He is maybe a little bit more of a technical, offensive-minded Kessie. That's what it looks like to me. I haven't seen enough of him to really give you a more detailed opinion. Apparently, Newcastle has approached Gabriel with 20 million, so don't hope for too much. Yeah, 20 million is still good. It's still good. Like 20 million, 22 million, 25 million. It is worth it because this player is going to cost 120 million in a few years. So if I have to pay 25 million for him today, that means that I save 95 million. you know, math is definitely not an opinion. That is for sure. The goalkeeper is the weakest link in AC Milan. Yeah, of course. Last time we visited Salernitana, we almost lost, but we ended up drawing the match. Remember, I think it was Rebic, right, that scored that goal. If I believe that was the last time we played against him. Salernitana was a tough team to play against. It was a tough team. Happy New Year from Jamaica, Gavin. What's up, my man? Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's see where Salernitana is in the league. Okay, Salernitana is 12. Wow. Salernitana has done very good for themselves. 12. That's pretty good. Let's see. Full. Okay, so Salernitana has scored 19 goals and conceded 24. Obviously, this is not a high-scoring team, but the goals are. It's one of the teams that concedes the most, actually. Interesting statistic. The team that concedes the most is Verona with 29 goals. They're last. The team that scores the least is Sampdoria. They scored only 6 goals, conceded 27. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible stat. They're obviously dropping down to Serie B. So by Sampdoria. Wow, the Genovese teams both in Serie B. Interesting how this goes. But Salernitana with 19 goals, maybe definitely better than everybody beneath them. Torino has scored 16, Fiorentina scored 18, but they have conceded less goals. These are interesting stats. Milan is at 29 goals, conceded 15. So Milan is definitely in a good position. Better position here. Tells you a little bit more about the quality of the team. Napoli's at 37 goals, conceded 12. Damn, 37 goals. That's crazy. Inter, 34 goals, conceded 22. So Inter has only conceded 2 goals less than Salernitana, but they have scored, almost double the amount. Almost double the amount. Yeah, so guys, what we are expecting from Milan Salernitana is this. I'll tell you right away. I will tell you right away what we're expecting from Milan Salernitana. Let me go to the previous Milan Salernitana game. Based on these numbers, what we are expecting is Milan to hold the ball for at least 60%. Milan to have double the amount of opportunities and or maybe double the amount of passes. This is what I predict. Let's see. According to those stats, let's see if this is correct. I'm going to go on Google. Give me a second. So the last time we played Salernitana, okay, here it is. Match summary. Copy. Okay, so this was 2021-2022 season. We won 2-0. This was the home game. Frank Cassie, the 5th minute, and Alexis Salamakers. We had 70% of ball possession, 30% against 30% for them. We had 22 shots off target, 8 on target. Okay, so what did the other game look like? Let's see. Salernitana, Milan, 2021, 2022. See if I can find it. Give me a second here. What was the last time we played against this team? 2021, 2022. Okay, 2-2. Here it is. Yes, I was correct. Shots 13 for Milan. Shots on target 5. Salernitana 9 shots on target, but off target, but also 5 on target. Ball possession 38 for Salernitana, 62. Milan with 490. So yeah, Milan is going to dominate this game. They're going to dominate this game. It's going to be about efficiency. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be about efficiency. Milan is going to dominate the possession. Milan is going to take the midfield. Milan is going to take the center. Milan is going to build from the back. We're probably going to do a decent job at getting away from the press. But it all comes down to all of these shots. Are they going to be on target or not? Are they going to be in the net or not? If we can be efficient, then we're good. Time will tell. All right, guys. I hear what you say and agree, but with Maldini agree, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It comes down to the parameters of how much he can spend. We bought a keeper, but Gazzetta reports he's not ready. Yeah, he's not starting. He's just Jungdal is leaving, and I mean, he might come to the train. I mean, honestly, those saves that he does are pretty high level saves. As I said, the one thing that highlight reel showed me is that sometimes he deflects the ball in danger areas. Obviously, when you're a professional goalkeeper, you have to avoid to do that. You want to deflect the ball either on the side, the left, or basically wherever's in non-dangerous areas. So, but if he has a certain amount of athleticism and reflexes and can command the box in a certain way, it is possible that this kid might take Tato Rusano's spot. Very unlikely, though. Very unlikely. We need to win against Salernitana. There's no option anymore, so we must take the 3 points. I don't care about anything, just the 3 points. Yeah, for sure, of course. If Milan continue to buy young players, and Milan fans need to give them time to develop, only a few turn out to be gems like Kalulu. I 100% agree. I 100% agree with that statement. Rebic out, Origi out, Ibra out, Mañana, Beltre out, Florencia out. A lot of injured players, yes. It was 2-2 Rebic equalizer. Yes, I have it here on Google. I'm looking at it. We scored. Junior Messias scored in the 5th minute, then Bonazzoli 29th minute, Duric 72nd minute, and then Rebic tied the game at the 77th minute. We were winning that game 1-0, and then we lost the lead 2-1, and then Rebic tied it. I really hope that shit does not happen again. Lab Grulli, what you think the starting 11 will be against Salernitana? Let's see. Now, yeah, that is what the newspapers are saying. Tato Rusano, Hernandez, Tomori, Kalulu, Calabria, Toruni, Benacer, Diaz, Sala, Leon, Giroud. I think here Lab Gorilla is talking about injured players. Anyway, guys, this today was the first day of the calciomercato. Actually, in Italy now it is January 3rd, so it is the second day of the calciomercato. We started with a signing right away. Interesting. And I like this link with this a young player. I hope it works out. I think he could be very good for the team. And these links are interesting. Like the links of Frates is interesting. The link of DePaul is interesting. The various links of Okafor is interesting. And I'm sure there's going to be more links and more networks coming out soon. So we're definitely going to be looking at them on a daily. Yes, it is the transfer market. Yes, Milan News is back. And yes, click that damn like button, brah. What the? What the? All right, let me see. Let's go to the poll one last time. What is the poll? Okay, first of all, how many likes do we have? 18 likes. My God. So 44 people or 40 something people voted, but you could not just fucking like the video. Like it doesn't really take you. It doesn't really take that much. It's just it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I promise. I promise. Like. All right, guys. Unless there's other topics you guys want to talk about and you want to bring up, and I can opinionate on them. But we spoke about everything we needed to speak today. I liked. There you go, Lab. There you go. There you go. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. Milan News is going to be rad this month. Okay, so again, if there are any other topics, guys, you want to discuss, I've covered everything for today. Everything that is interesting. Actually, let's just do this. Let's finish with a look at the Italian Milan websites, like Milan News. It. This is Vitiello's platform. Vitiello, one of the better journalists out there, right? Here he is, Vitiello. La Premier sogna Benasser, ma Isma crede nel progetto rossonero. The Premier League is dreaming of Benasser, but Ismail Benasser believes in the red and black project. Non solo Leo Benasser, Milan punta ad andare oltre giugno 2023 anche con Giroud. So they want to get Giroud. Let me translate this. Milan News, testata giornalistica. No. Here. Okay. Ceccarini, it's not said that Milan will stop at Vasquez in the goalkeeper department. Yes, it looks like they want to get another goalkeeper. Crystalline UEFA scares Juve. Not only it will not be possible to buy, but I fear it will also be necessary to sell. Chiesa, let's get Chiesa. It's official. I think that's one of the female players. Chelsea close to signing Enzo Fernandez, 127 million. Let's see. Milan contacted us 2 weeks ago for Vasquez. Interesting. So 2 weeks ago, we had no idea about it. So, guys, this also says about all the operations that they're doing, but we just don't know what they are. Tonali has made 552 passes this season. Ali, this is about Ali. I expect something more, but we need to understand what Pioli thinks. Gilardino is now coach of Genoa. Interesting. Rome approved the budget. It is the worst in the history of the Giallorossi. Wow. Isaiah Henry will be the next coach of Belgium. Interesting. Mancini says if we had been at the World Cup, we would have played it, also to try to win it. Yeah, no shit. Deschamps close to renewal with France until 2024. Interesting. Many champion coaches from the 2006 team, right, in Serie B. I think there's a bunch of them. Inzaghi, uh, Oddo, whoever. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of them. Teo prepares for Salernitana. What does this mean? I work at Milanello. Work at Milanello. Oh, Teo's Twitter account. I see. Brozovic KO. He's out of Napoli. Orlando says Pioli never says anything about injuries, but the goalkeeper is a problem. Primavera, I'm looking forward to see how Camarda does in the Primavera. That should be interesting. Krunic, very close to Diaz and De Keller for the minutes played as a playmaker. Wow. That's an interesting stat. I think Krunic is our best player in that position. Not our best creative player, but the player that gives us the most guarantees on the pitch. That's my opinion. Kill me for it. I don't give a shit. Inzaghi and De Keller can become a protagonist. His quality, you have to take the pressure off of him. Yes, I saw this. Diego Dalot. Juventus is looking at Diego Dalot. Juventus is looking at McAllister and Grimaldo. A few years ago, Ibrahimovic relanded in Milan. Okay. Real Madrid ready to go crazy for Bellingham. 100 million. Bruh, it's like potato chips. The money for these teams is like just putting up potato chips on the table. Sgarbi, the controversial politician, says, I really think that San Siro will not be demolished. We start again from Tonali and Benacer. I do think that double pivot is a very reliable double pivot, so it's good to know that both of them are fit for Salernitana. What is this? So I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Look who's back. All right. Lecce domani visite. Yeah. What? eBay what? What did you say? Loan for permanence. Milan leaves the choice to Ali the point. Leo Reno, are you confident? Most read, the choice Vasquez and whenever goalkeeper can arrive. Milano and eBay sign a new contract. This is what you were talking about. AC Milan and eBay are pleased to announce a new partnership which sees the leading marketplace in global commerce become the official marketplace of the RossonARI Club. Nice. The new partnership is based on the sharing of objectives and values between the two global brands that sees the concept of passions at the base of the agreement. One that, on the one hand, eBay is positioned as the marketplace of passions for its community, where users who share the same interests can find everything they're looking for to satisfy all their passions. So if you want to buy Milan merchandise, eBay is the place. On the other, AC Milan that gives unique emotions to its more than 500 million fans around the world, and it's guided every day by the dedication of the Rossoneri colors. A perfect combination that is further realized thanks to the opening of the AC Milan store on eBay.it, where all fans of the Rossoneri Club will be able to live an exclusive experience by purchasing original products of their favorite team. Yay! Why didn't they do this with Amazon? You would think Amazon is probably better. It seems that, to me, Amazon seems a little bit more just easier to use than eBay. But whatever, okay. Michael Otto's sponsorship sales director of AC Milan commented, "What we are announcing today is a partnership between two international and prestigious brands recognizable all over the world. We're particularly proud to provide our fans with an additional touch point to bring them even closer to the Milan world through the creation of an AC Milan store on the eBay platform." Now, of course, Milan has to do a better job at, selling its merchandise to the world. Obviously, this is one of the things that Redbird was talking about, creating a global brand, creating a brand that is easily accessible to people outside of Italy, outside of Europe. Officially landing on eBay underlines the innovative spirit of the club, always attentive to improving the experience of our fans, also in the digital world. We're very excited about the partnership, which for us represents a further demonstration of the centrality of our community. The combination of two such important global brands will further consolidate the relationship with our users, with ambitions to nurture their interests, their passions, and their experiences. Milan is doing a very good job at these collaborations, these sponsors, and it looks like our numbers are looking really good. I saw an article suggesting that Milan is looking at something like 350, 360 in revenues by the end of the year. Now, that does not mean that that's how much we have for the Mercato. That does not mean that if Milan makes 300, that's how much. We could potentially spend it, but then you have to cover it in the long end. Like it's basically credit. You can spend it as credit. Milan is not interested in doing that, but it says that we will have more funds for the Mercato. Not 360 million, but definitely more funds for the Mercato, even because our debt has gone even lower now. Last time I read, now we are down to 20 million, 24 million debt. That is crazy. I've never seen Milan with these kind of numbers before. So, everything outside the pitch is working very well. Now we just got to make things work on the pitch, and tomorrow night here is going to be the night. Okay, guys, having said that, I appreciate everybody that stuck here with me today. Yes, I'm going to do Milan news every single day. Why? Because the transfer market is open, and we want to know exactly what AC Milan does. Tomorrow, obviously, we're going to talk more about the Salernitana game coming up. We're going to see where the roster is at. Every day, there's going to be new links, new players that we can look at, analyze. It's going to be a very busy January on the channel. Finally, we can bring some order back to the channel because that World Cup break was just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Having said that, thank you, Lab Gorilla. Good night, Forza Milan. Thank you to everybody, guys. Like the video on your way out. Thank you. Subscribe, become a member, do all that good stuff. We're going to have a lot of content, watch along, post matches. We're going to follow the Calcio Mercato. We're going to make short videos, a whole bunch of stuff. Having said that, guys, alla prossima, arrivederci, thank you, see you tomorrow, peace out, forza, 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 forza 20 times, Milan.